welcome to episode 8 of Customer Success Rants Musings. My name is Rick Adams from practicalcsm.com. Today's topic for a brief discussion is listening skills and a particular listening skills technique called active listening. You might be familiar with it already. If you're not, please do listen along and you'll find out all about it. So I think that we could all, and myself included, we could all do with brushing up on listening skills from time to time. We could all do with improving. The better listeners we are, the better communicators we are. And communication is, of course, key to the customer success role. Hence, I'm covering it today in this podcast. So let me go through active listening and explain what it is and how it works. So there are two parts to active listening. The first part is the listening and the second part is the paraphrasing. So in the first part, you're going to be listening to what the stakeholder, in our case, but I mean, this works in any situation, right? It could be you're a parent and talking to your child or listening to your child. You are at work talking to a colleague, or you're talking to the stakeholder. So in my example, I'm talking to a customer stakeholder. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to ask a question perhaps, and then I'm going to listen. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to that stakeholder and actually deliberately listen. So that means in my mind, I'm focusing on what they're saying. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say after they've finished talking, which is what generally happens in a conversation. And that's absolutely fine, down the pub or, over dinner with a friend or whatever. That's absolutely fine. You do what you want. Okay. And that's, that's just sort of general conversation is, whilst they're talking, we're kind of half listening and half thinking about what we want to say next. But in active listening, we don't do that. In active listening, we're not considering at all about what we're going to say next, because actually we already know what we're going to say next, which is paraphrasing, and I'm going to come to that in a second. So we don't have to think about it. We just listen and show that you're listening. How do you do that? Well, it's sort of body language and it's short verbalization as well. So for example, okay, yeah, right, okay. So I'm nodding, maybe I'm smiling, I'm showing eye contact, and this changes different regional cultures, but saying yes, saying I get it, saying whatever is appropriate to the culture in which you reside. So we're going to show that we're listening to encourage them to continue talking to us because we are still listening and they can see that. If necessary, if it is complex what they're talking about and there's a lot of it, you might need to make some notes. Now, try, if you can, to keep the notes fairly brief so that you can maintain the eye contact and you're not just like, right? Because again, the stakeholder may find that a little bit more off-putting than if we're trying to maintain some kind of eye contact with them. So make notes, but don't sort of get over-involved in the notes. Make sure you are showing that you are listening. Okay, so let them speak until they've finished. You don't interrupt them, and so they can carry on for as long as they need to until they are done. Once they are done, it is now your responsibility to paraphrase back to them. What does paraphrase mean? It means say the same thing back but differently. Same but different, back to the stakeholder to confirm that you did hear it correctly. So it's okay to summarize. You don't need to say all that they said. You can just abbreviate it because they may have gone into some in-depth explanation. And then you can say back to them something along the lines of, okay, so let me just check that I have understood you correctly. What you are saying is that you need this, and you need this, and you need it done to this quality by that date. Have I got it right? And that little bit at the end is very important. As it says there, the third bullet point for the second part is invite the stakeholder to clarify or correct. So they get the opportunity then to say, yep, that's exactly spot on. You got it right. Job done. Or to say, well, that's nearly right, but actually what you forgot to say was we also need this done. Okay. And then you've got to paraphrase back again. So you go through the same process. So you say, so in fact, what you need is this, and this, done to this quality by this date. Have I got it right now, or is there anything else that you want to add to that? So you're giving them another opportunity, and you go through that process as many times as needed, and maybe they think of something else. You go, I forgot something else. So it gives them the opportunity to also think more. But you want to carry on doing that until such time as they say, yes, that is it. now you have successfully listened to them and you know exactly what their message is. So there we go. That is active listening. I hope you found it useful. Please do apply it in your role and tell me all about it. And I look forward to speaking to you in future episodes. Bye for now.